Am I the idiot for calling out my sister-in-law's awkward financial and marital situation? This is a long one, so buckle up. I, female 32, am married to Mark, male 37, and we are child-free. This will be relevant later on. My husband and I met right before the pandemic, so I did not get a chance to meet his family until summer of 2021, when we were already engaged. Even though we are different people, my PIL is a really lovely person, so Mark's sister, Ashley, 33 female, is married to John, 47 male. They do not have any kids because John doesn't want any more and has taken steps to ensure this does not happen after they got together, but didn't tell her. He has 3 kids from his first marriage, which ended when he met Ashley 6 years ago. She does not work and relies on her husband for all her expenses, which has been a strain on the relationship. She pretends everything is perfect. My husband and I are both hard workers and savers. We're not cheap, but we budget everything, and we spend money thoughtfully. We were in very similar financial situations when we met and decided to share finances rather than worry about splitting everything. We go out to dinner once a week and travel 3 to 4 times a year because we have the means. Last weekend, my in-laws and Ashley, along with my family, came to our place for the Super Bowl. My family is close by, but Mark's is a plane ride away, so they were staying with us. We live in a high cost of living city in the northeast of the U.S., so we have a smaller place, but we own it. My in-laws took our guest room, which doubles as an office, and we put my sister-in-law in our spare space, which is an oversized closet I use as a reading room. From the moment they arrived on Friday, my sister-in-law was making negative comments about our lifestyle/things. She commented about her not having her own bedroom/bathroom, our building the view, my clothes, not designer, our travel plans, our lack of children, only having 1 car instead of 2, the alcohol we provided, and the place we picked for dinner. She pretty much had something negative to say about everything. It came to a head during halftime when Rihanna was performing. My brother asked which country she was from, because he forgot, and my sister-in-law said street. Martin and I laughed and said no, Barbados, that she knows because she and her husband own a home in Smartin, and I wouldn't know because we don't travel. I finally snapped and said she should ask her husband, since he is actually the one that owns the home, just like everything she has. This is where I may have been the idiot. I asked her just how ironclad her prenup was. It is very secure and is an issue in their marriage, and then questioned her about her timeline on children. She got really flustered and then spent the second half of the game in her room. The rest of the night was a little awkward, but no one said anything to me. I said goodbye to my PIL before I went to work on Monday, but my sister-in-law was still sleeping. My husband thinks I was a little harsh, but that she had it coming, and my parents just thought it was out of character for me. My sister-in-law was pissed the whole trip home. ETA, I just want to be clear that my sister-in-law was loudly negative to anyone that would listen, including our friends who met up with us on Friday, family dinner on Saturday, and in front of my family on Sunday. Update. I called my sister-in-law today and we talked. She came at me hard and I let her. When she was done, I apologized for my swipes about children and her prenup, and then explained that she spent the entire weekend taking swipes at both my husband and I while she was an uninvited guest in our home. She was mad at first, but eventually apologized. She did not really acknowledge what she was apologizing for, but it's a start. Due to the character limit, I did not include how our relationship started, which has a lot to do with how I respond to her. She did not know anything about me when my husband and I met, and I know he doesn't share much information about our lives with her, so she made a lot of assumptions. I did tell her she needs to cut the crap if she wants to be a part of our lives. Also, everything I know about her life, she told me herself. During the actual lockdowns, we did a few Zoom calls with her early on, and she told me all about her life. None of what I threw back at her was a secret to anyone in the room, since it was her parents, brother, and my parents and brother. My family knows all about her marriage because she told them, not me. I was wrong to use it against her, and I plan to make an attempt to work on our relationship moving forward. Finally, I called my in-laws and apologized to them as well. My mother-in-law was a little hurt by the way I went after her daughter, but my father-in-law pointed out to her that my sister-in-law was not only being awful to me but to their son as well, and it would be better if they just don't pick a side in any of this. I invited them to come again, but asked that they come alone now that they know how to navigate the airports and flights. Not the idiot. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I just don't get why those with glass homes always throw the first stone. Everyone sucks here. Her for obvious reasons. You went much further than you needed to put her in her place. By all means, tell her to keep her jabs and negs to herself. By all means point out that her finances are not hers, but the marriage and pregnancy stuff was just malicious. You went past slapping down her comment and just went to town on her generally. No need. Not the idiot. You don't have to put up with someone insulting you like this in your own home. People should be called out for the idiot poop they say, and that's what you did. Maybe she should think twice about being rude to you. Should she have held her tongue? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for not telling my husband about all my reward points cards? I, female 29, have been married to my husband, male 30, for 9 years. I am a stay-at-home mom with 4 beautiful children under 10. My husband makes $150 plus a year, but decides where every dollar and cent goes. 50% to day-to-day expenses, 25% to the children's education savings, 10% to family savings, 7.5% to his personal spending, and 7.5% to my personal spending. Any bonus he makes or money back from taxes goes immediately into retirement. Doing it this way leaves us no money for vacations or big trips. Since we got married and moved in with each other, I've been completely responsible for all the shopping, whether it is clothes, groceries, furniture, or whatever else. I learned very early on with the help of my mom how to coupon clip and how to use points cards to their maximum potential. I usually get 2 or 3 different reward points and save 10 to 25% per transaction I do. My husband only knew about the coupon clipping, not the rewards points. For the past 5 years, I've been going on a girls' trip with my family every year. I've been telling my husband that my sisters, sister-in-laws, mom and grandma have been paying for me to go since I can't afford it. But in reality, I have been using the rewards points to pay for the ticket, using rewards to pay for our groceries, and using my difference to pay off my credit cards so that I am able to go on the trip. This year, my brothers, brother-in-laws, father and grandfather decided to do their own boys' trip and invited my husband. My husband told them that unless they can help him as the girls help me, he would have to decline the invite. My brother responded to him with, "What do you mean? She says you pay for her to go." My husband confronted me about the situation and I confessed to him what I have been doing. He was extremely hurt, saying that with all these points, we could have done a lot more as a family, rather than just one person hoarding them all to themselves. And if I set him up with his own credit cards to get even more points, it would have been a lot easier for us to do big family vacations. My entire family has been calling me selfish and a jerk for not being more open about the points, but I feel that worked very hard to get to the point levels I have gotten to, and that making them more open for use would burn through them quickly and not allow them to be used for bigger things. Am I the idiot? Update. I wanted to clarify some things before I get to the actual update. Yes, married young. It is a common practice in my religion. We have known each other and have gone to the same church since we were 10. We dated while we were teenagers but always knew we wanted to marry each other. He proposed to me the second he saw me after coming home from his mission, and we got married 6 months later. This was exactly what I wanted. My husband is not abusive. While he does dictate how much we spend and on what, he doesn't even look at the accounts, except for maybe once every 3 months. Almost everything is automated. I know more about what goes on in that account than he does. He does not hold the money over me. He is also one of the sweetest, most caring, loving individuals I have ever met. He regularly volunteers for the community and our church, helps out regularly around the house, makes sure to spend time with each of our children, and makes sure I feel loved and wanted. Me being a stay-at-home mom is not free childcare. I am taking the time to watch over my own children. They are as much mine as they are his. Saying it is free childcare would be like calling my husband a free gardener every time he mows the lawns or calling me a free maid every time I clean the house. I agreed to the budget early on. It seemed like a good plan, and we agreed that it would change and grow as our family does and he moves on in his career. Now onto the update. If I filter to all the "he is abusive" posts out of the rating, it is clear that I am the jerk. I honestly don't know why I lied about it in the beginning, but I know I carried on the lie because of the shame and fear of disappointing or hurting him. When I found a way to go on these girls' trips, I was proud of the fact that I was able to do it my own way, which is why I got selfish with the points. This wasn't fair. Last night I made my husband a cup of tea after the kids and we sat down and talked it out. I talked about my desire to see the world as he has. He went to Italy for his mission, and how I have only ever been to Utah and my own province before going on the girls' trips, most of which were a week in Mexico or on a cruise. He told me that he wishes that I included him in his plan as he includes me in his. He was hurt that I felt I had to hide the cards or how I am paying for these vacations. He also told me that next year his boss is planning to retire, and he is the next in line for succession. The position would give him more vacation, a larger bonus, and a $50,000 per year pay increase. They have just been talking about it this week, and he was waiting for the weekend to tell me. He is happy with our budget the way it is, and with this pay increase, we could use the entirety of it for family vacations. With the addition of the points that he will now help me get, we could probably go on 2 big trips a year. This made me feel a lot better about the future. So this weekend, thanks to someone who posted that I could be doing better, we are modifying my points gathering, applying for some new cards for him, and planning our first real vacation as a family for next year. I cried when I read a lot of the posts. I felt a lot of shame for how I behaved, but I also felt very sad that anyone could think my husband was abusive. Please ask for more clarification before jumping straight to the "he's abusive, leave him," or "prepare for him to leave you." Not everyone is like that. You're the idiot for lying for 9 years about this, but it sounds like this is not an equitable relationship. If you don't get a say in where the money goes, you are not being treated as an equal partner in this relationship. Sounds to me like marriage counseling ought to be budgeted in. In TA, maybe it'd have been better had you been upfront about it, but getting those rewards takes a lot of effort, and you're the one doing it. You shouldn't feel obligated to share them, but shouldn't guard them to the point of causing fights. Is their relationship doomed? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for telling my brother to pick his kids up from mine at 10 p.m.? I, male 23, got an apartment with my girlfriend since sophomore year. We have fully furnished the house and decorated. There are 3 bedrooms, one is our room, guest room, and our office workspace area. My older brother, male 30, has 2 children, male 3 and female 6. I love them, but they are a pain in the bum most of the time. My niece and nephew were staying at my house 2 nights ago, and when my brother and his wife dropped them off, they brought paints with them. We told them that they have to do it on the dinner table with clear wrapping paper. When it was time for their bedtime, we tucked them into bed, and me and my girlfriend watched a show in our room. After 10 minutes of putting them to bed, we heard giggling, so I got up to check while my girlfriend stayed in bed. They were painting on the white walls. I was livid. They also got it on the sheets and the floor. I yelled at them, and they started crying. My girlfriend tried to make me calm down, but I didn't want them in my house, so I called their dad, telling him to pick them up now. He came in his dressing gown, telling "What time do you call this?" I showed him the mess, and he put the blame on me. I told him if he controlled his kids, once in a while none of this would happen. He wanted me to apologize for yelling at them. I told him to get the frick out of my house. He leaves and he blocks me on everything. Like the baby he is, he told our parents and our sister. They are both on my side. So am I the idiot? Everyone sucks here. The brother should not have brought paint over with the kids. Toys, yes. Paint, no. He is older and has more experience with kids and should have known better. Op left the paint where the kids would have access. The 6-year-old knows better, but kids will be kids. Op should not have yelled at the kids for acting like kids. Both adults need to apologize to each other. Not the idiot, who sends their kids to someone else's home with paints. I find it crazy that so many people think this is normal, though. I have 6 kids, and none of them are painted or colored on our walls. It's not to teach your children. You're the idiot. They are kids, a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. They don't understand the consequences because the mind of consequence isn't fully developed until you are 25. Now you have to deal with it because you didn't put away the paint so they couldn't reach them.